All right, on the stock market, on the tariffs. Again, if we're looking for the president to quote unquote get the message from the markets and from some of his supporters that he needs to be more consistent. As I said, slap tariffs verbally on Canada this morning, unslap them verbally tonight. Here is the president talking in that same thing with Musk about the stock market. Number 5, please.
What is your message, President Trump? Buying a new car, while there are some folks who will see this clip at home and they are struggling with their retirement accounts down at the moment, uncertainty about work ahead.
Well, I think they're going to do great. I think our country had to do this. We had to go and do this. They've taken away, other countries have taken away our business. They've taken away our jobs. I did it initially very strongly against, as you know, China and some others in the first term. And it was a very successful term. We had no inflation. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. And then we had COVID, which we had to straighten out. So I didn't want to be doing anything with respect to other countries at that time. And we did a great job with it. We handed the stock market over. It was higher than it ever was. And think of that, higher than it ever was to that point before. And nobody thought that was even possible. We did a great job. But we had the greatest economy in history. This economy, in my opinion, is going to blow it away. But what I have to do is I have to get the workers back. I have to get the factories open. We have 90,000 factories and plants are closed from what you had just prior to NAFTA, which is not very long ago. 90,000, think of it, 90,000 factories and plants are closed from what it was. And it's just not right. So, and we gave it away. Presidents before me gave it away, and I could name every one of them. But they gave it away, and we're taking it back. We're taking our jobs back.
So the reporters asked the president different versions of the question. Are you worried about a recession? What would you say to people concerned about the stock market? He did change kind of his mood and tone on the question of will there be a recession. He didn't guarantee there wouldn't, but he leaned away from what he'd said on Sunday that caused such an uproar when he suggested there might be a recession. He basically said he thought the American economy would boom. Here he is talking about the business climate a little while later, not that long ago, at the Business Roundtable event in front of Fortune 100 CEOs. Number 1, please.
A lot of investment coming into our country, much more than I've ever seen. Apple is investing $500 billion. IBM was with us yesterday, and they're investing a lot. Just companies all over. I could name them. You've read most of them, many of them. But hundreds of billions of dollars is being invested. That wouldn't have happened if I didn't win the election, number one. And I think, number 2, the tariffs are having a tremendously positive impact. They will have, and they are having. We have car companies that are not building in Mexico now. They're building in the United States. Some of them, the plants were already started, and they stopped construction, and now they're going to build in the United States. It was very unfair. They'd build in Mexico and sell them across the border with no tax, no nothing. They'd take away our jobs. They'd close up places in Michigan and all over the country, and they'd build them in Mexico. In many cases, they were owned by China. Built in Mexico, owned by China. And that's all stopped now. They're all coming here. Honda is building a massive plant in different places, Indiana, South Carolina, but also in Michigan, a lot in Michigan. A lot of activity is happening. They're looking all over the place for places, and that's because there is a good spirit. There's a renewed spirit, and also, very importantly, the tariffs they don't want to pay 25% or whatever it may be. It may go up higher, maybe go up higher. Look, the higher it goes, the more likely it is they're going to build. And ultimately, the biggest win is not the tariff. That's a big win. That's a lot of money. But the biggest win is if they move into our country and produce jobs. That's a bigger win than the tariffs themselves. But the tariffs are going to be throwing off a lot of money to this country. And we've been ripped off for years by other countries, many, many decades. And they were doing the same thing. But I think we'll do it better. And I think we have a bigger advantage because we really are the piggy bank. They weren't.
So the Business Roundtable folks are in D.C. A lot of them are having separate meetings with White House officials, and they don't love tariffs and they don't love the uncertainty. If you'd asked them 2 weeks ago, are you glad Trump won, as opposed to Kamala Harris, they'd say yes. Lower taxes, more energy, less regulation. And again, as we emphasized yesterday, it seems like a million years ago, there was a lot of unhappiness with the uncertainty and with the impact that tariffs were having, and a lack of certainty that Trump was going to have the economy revved up in a way that businesses want. There's a little bit more calm today, a little bit more calm. Market's not as bad, and the tariffs coming off the Canadians. It's still a work in progress. Still a work in progress. All